Oh, good morning. Welcome to my live stream of a Recon ride hosted by LEVEL Esports Racing this morning. This is for round 3, stage 5 of the Zwift Racing League. It's a Recon ride for Tuesday's race event taking place on everything Bagel. Obviously, hopefully the stream's going to be a better quality for you today. I've had a few internet issues and had a new provider in, so hopefully that will work better today. First trying a different microphone as well. Let's see how that works. But jump in the chat, ask me any questions, and I'll try and answer you back as we ride through this. I'm actually going to be sweeping this one today, so a chance to sit at the back as I'm full of cold. As you can see, I layered up in the pain cave this morning with plenty of layers on. But yeah, just going to sit at the back of this one, sweep this one, and let people have a recon on this one. The course itself, 34.3 kilometers in length, 545 meters of elevation. I will just quickly change my screen because I normally race in miles, so I shall change it for everybody. So it's in kilometers, hopefully that's worked, fingers crossed. So we will race it in kilometers purely because my Recon video is out on my channel. The Recon notes are in the description of that one. So this course then, round 3, stage 4, I thought it was stage 5, but never mind. Is everything Bagel. It's a points race. The first climb of the New York Com is not a segment for FTS and FAL points. But then after that, everything is in play. So you have a New York Sprint, FTS and FAL points available on that. New York Com, the second time up it, you have FTS and FAL points available on that. And then the third segment is the New York Sprint Reverse, which comes towards the end. On this one, you'll have 4 power-ups available to you. They're going to be Anvil, Featherweight, and let's get this Recon ride underway, and you can see how it is out here. So this little first kicker here, kicking in at 0.4 of a kilometre. Got a nice little rise up here, 4%, into a 7-8% bit there, levelling out a little bit to 4%. And then final kick by this little hut thing on the right hand side, takes you over the top of this hill, and a nice little descent in. Obviously at race pace, I don't think you'll notice that little rise too much, but obviously under a kilometre into this race, it's there to note, so just be mindful of that one. I think I'm taking my sweeping duties a little bit too cautiously at the back here, and have to try and move up and get back in the group a little bit. Maybe just sit near the ride leader. This Recon being hosted by LEVEL Racing Esports. We're doing a few Recon rides of the various WTRL courses throughout the week for each round and stage that's taking place. So if you get a chance, look on the Zwift Companion app, jump on one of them, come along, join us, and we'll give you our tour around the next stage. Obviously, having done the Recon ride of this last week for my video, I get the joys of doing it again before racing it on Tuesday. Obviously on Tuesday I will live stream my race, and that'll go out about 10:30 in the morning, so UK time. You can get to see it at race pace as well. I'm going to mute the microphone as we take on this little climb. I'll see you in a little while. That's better, back amongst friends now for this climb. So this climb then is getting my details in front of me properly. So we're at 2 kilometers into this one. You start the glass road, which is the first time up the New York Com. So bear that in mind. First part of this, 2 kilometers to 2.3 kilometers, roughly sort of 7% of the highest gradient. Get a short, excuse me, get a short little descent here, and then as we turn this right hand bend, around about 2.4 kilometers will be the final kick up for the New York Com in reverse. You can just see the red segment banner up there on the right. This will be the start of this. It's going to be about 1.6 kilometers in length. Sort of average gradient on it is 6.5%. It says on the left hand side. So yeah, so this one, first bit here, 15%, and gradually just sort of ramps up. Then you have sort of flat sections. We're still looking in the double figures for most of the first part of this climb. Obviously this climb is not in play for FTS and FAL points, so it depends on how the race is, how people attack this one. Just notice the comments on the screen there put on by our ride leader today. Bike options does vary between people. For my weight, FTP, etc., Zwift the bike recommends for me the Pinarello Dogma F with DT Swiss disc wheel set, or the Canyon Aeroad with the DT Swiss disc wheel set. Really depends on you, your racing style, how you want to tackle this race. I think the DT Swiss disc wheel set has its advantages. Other people might go for the zip wheels. Other people might go for the Specialized S-Works, which I'm riding today. But yeah, everyone's slightly different on that. Obviously, you've got 2 climbs in it, 2 sprints in it, quite a bit of descending. Really depends on how you want to tackle this race on the day. But Zwift the bike, enter all your details in there, analyze it, and it'll give you the best comparison. The days of just always selecting the Tron bike after you've earned it isn't really a thing anymore. There's a lot of faster bikes out there that'll save you time. So here we are, just starting the second part of this sort of New York Com. 6% gradient roughly, 1.1 kilometers in length. Nice 7.5% here to start with, gradually ramping up. I find the heads-up display quite useful in these races. You get that little respite in the yellow and blue bit, work hard in the more orangey colours, and hope at the top you're still with whatever group you're with. So just coming back over now to Nick, our ride leader, who's taking this one out for us today. Just gives everyone an opportunity to ride the course in a group, get a feel of what's going on, and take on some of the advice that's been given out. Like I say, if you haven't got time to do the ride, then my Recon video for this course is on my channel. All Recon notes are in the description as well, via the link. Jump on there, have a look at that. And if you do, whilst you're there, maybe give my page a like and subscribe. Helps me out, helps me keep these videos coming to you. But a little bit of a respite now on this 3% bit. Hopefully the microphone and everything's holding up well, and the stream's okay with you all. Hard to tell at the moment. Obviously my breathing's a bit heavy, I am full of cold, so I do apologise for that. But I'll go quiet as we take the next bit of this climb. But as you can see, when we get to the top of this one and go through that New York com banner, you will pick up your first Anvil power up, and I'll discuss the Anvil power up when we get to the top. Can't beat a bit of 15% in the morning, can you? Over the top of this little 15% kick. Just starting to see the crest of the top of this hill now. Com banner will be just down the road here. And then get ready for that descent. So the Anvil power up then will give you the benefit, clearly, of being heavier to make the descent quicker. Only use it on anything that's greater than a -2 descent. Not useful if it's 0 to -2 descent. What I recommend is build up your speed, get a good speed up before you use it. Don't just push it and then try and sprint. If you can attack over the top of this com, get a good descent rolling, one final sprint and then use it, you'll get the most benefit out of it. That's if you decide to use it on the descent. It might be that you use it up here just to get yourself back onto a group if you're dropped a little bit, or it might just help you get a bit of recovery as you hold onto other people's wheels. So there you go, 4K in, starting the descent. We've got about 1.9 kilometers of descending. There's a few little ramps in it, but if you pack the descent well, you would be really good on this downhill section. I personally would wait with your Anvil for a little bit longer. I'd get that section done that we've just done. I'd probably get through this tunnel, and I would start to think about, probably as you enter this tunnel, maybe it'd be a good chance to either attack here, get your speed up, and roll down this bit, because you've got a good minus 16% here. Anvil here with a power tuck will really keep you with everybody. There you go, using my Anvil power up now, just to show you how I've increased speed. I've used it a little bit late. I would have used it as I entered that tunnel at the top. But yeah, use it there. It'll probably run out just as you get to that flattish bit. And then you've got this final bit of descent down here where you can push through in the wheels, or we take the right-hand turn at the bottom. A little bit more descending to go, about 0.4 of a kilometre. I know this is 2% now, but I think once you come down that hill and the pace is picked up in the group and you're drafting in the wheels, this won't really be that noticeable. This little bit is flat again now. Then we're going to take this descent. If you attack this little descent, it will benefit you on the little rise the other side. So I put an attack in here just to get your speed up, and then you can roll over the other side without even noticing. Little tactics like that will save you some energy in the long run, especially if you're drafting in the wheels. Obviously this is only my advice. I'm just an average B rider, average category B rider, as you'll probably see on Tuesday morning when I race. So that's the descending done. That little kicker came in at about 5.96 kilometers in. Fairly sort of flattish now, but we're still on the glass road. And then there'll be another little kicker around about 6.7k. Just started using the companion app now. I can have more devices on in the garage without affecting my stream, so I'm going to throw a little elbow here, letting it come through. Got a little bit carried away there. I was supposed to be sweeping this one at last minute step in, but yeah, just got a little bit carried away. This group seems to be holding together really well though. I think the benefit of this, doing it in a group, is you do get to see the course whether you're racing it or not. It's still a good group ride. If you haven't signed up to a race team and you're thinking about getting into Zwift racing, then check out LEVEL Racing Esports. Link is in the description of this video, and most of my videos you'll find the link to LEVEL Esports Racing's Facebook page. Click on a link there, send over a message to the team. It'll probably be Lisa that picks it up, and she'll get back to you and get you involved if you want to. All categories, all abilities, all ages, and all across the world. We've got races for everybody. Like I say, Tuesday I race in the South Atlantic time zone with some race mates over in America. So I do that at 10:30 on Tuesday morning in the UK time. So that'll be available for you to see as I stream that on Tuesday. But yeah, if you ever got any questions or want to ask anything, then just drop me a comment in any of my YouTube videos and I will get back to you and comment and reply to all of them. Hope you're finding this video useful. It's the first time I've done a Recon ride like this. I normally just do my Recon videos and then race it, but this morning pretty grim in the UK, so thought I'd get out in the pain cave and get some miles in. Support the team by getting involved in helping host one of these, and then carry on my training after I've done this one. So yeah, got 7.6 kilometers in now. Not really a lot's happened in the last little bit. Bit of a descent coming up here, and then we'll be getting ready to move towards that first sprint segment, which will come in around 13.2 kilometers. Going to turn the mic off as I put a dig in to get back in touch with the group, and I'll be back shortly. So here we are then, coming back through this tunnel now, back on tarmac, off that glass road of New York. 9.5 kilometers in. This little surprise kicker here at 9.6, just be mindful of, as you might get a little bit relaxed as you hit tarmac. This kicker here, 8%, comes out the blue. The heads up display is a little bit late as well. That is a little one to be mindful of. That's at 9.6k. Like I say, just be mindful of that one, because you might be just caught in the wheels and caught unaware as that goes over that one. 30 minute, around about 10.2 kilometers as we head round here. There is going to be a longer rise for about a kilometer. It's going to be about 3% average, but it's just a bit more of a drag, this one. Again, if you can sit in the wheels and get some of that draft benefit of sitting in behind, you might just be able to breeze up this one. Still getting a little bit of recovery in, but it all depends on what team tactics are for getting people across the sprint line as we head towards the New York sprint segment, which is going to be at 13.2 kilometers. So yeah, this one, again, just a little bit draggy. Doesn't really get above 5%, a few little sections of it, but nice blue little descent, a little bit more of a kick, and we should come off this around about 11.1 kilometers. It's a good test for me doing this recon. Gets to see how accurate my notes are
Obviously I like to ride all my own recons, make my own notes from the recons that I've done. Sometimes if I can't get on the course properly, then there might be a few 0.1 or 2 kilometers out just because of the lead-ins and stuff, but they give you a really good idea of how the course is going to be. So find a little kick up here, and I've got it down in my notes from 11.1 kilometers to 12.9. We're going to be rolling through the park. Literally, I think it's just a case of a few little short rises and dips. Nothing of significant note. Things at a race pace, you'll just probably not even notice them and just roll through them. But I've put them in the recon notes just to sort of show that it is rolling, it's not flat. Heads up display sort of shows you that there, it's just popped off, but yeah, it just gives you a bit of an idea of what it's like. Give you the heads up really there. So now we're just rolling through the park. Taking in the New York scenery, and I'll come back as we get towards 12.9, which is the last little kicker that takes you into that New York sprint. So I'll be back shortly. Just want to say this recon ride, there's 32 people in this ride this morning, which is, was it 8:05 Saturday morning in the UK time. Just want to say a massive thanks for everyone joining that. Makes a big difference having you all here to ride it with us. Level Esports Racing are trying to do various things, trying to promote a lot of female racing as well. We've hosted one female race. There's more female racing coming from Level Racing Esports. Hopefully in conjunction with Zwift, we'll get those through and advertised. So do keep in contact, look at Instagram page for Level Esports Racing. Also, Level Racing Coffee Club, the little get to know the people within Level Esports Racing. Before I carry on that, this is a little kick I was on about 12.9 in. It's a nice little 5%er, up to about 13.2k. Then you get a nice little descent in, which will bring you into the sprint. But yeah, Coffee Club, videos released Sunday mornings, 9 o'clock on the Level Esports Racing YouTube channel. Give that a look, have a little sprint. I got my heart rate up. We roll back to this group now. So yeah, sprint there. Well, about 0.15 of a kilometre, negative 4.3%. Anyone with a decent sprint will definitely get under my measly 10 seconds there. Yeah, so it's just a little kicker up at 12.9, takes you to 13.2, and that descent rolls you into that sprint. Just bear that in mind as you come through there. Now we've got about 2 kilometres, taking us to about 15.4 kilometres. Again, just rolling through the park as that glass road is looming above us for that second climb of it. This one, the second climb of the New York Com, is for FTS and FAL points. And as you come through that sprint banner, you have picked up the Featherweight. How you use that, where you use it, entirely up to you. Obviously, as your legs tire going up the New York Com, you might want to pop it there and get the 30 seconds benefit of it. Again, it will all depend on how your race is panning out, how things are looking for you, and what's going on. But yeah, what we do is just close the gap down to that. Let's see if these people behind me want to jump on, or if they're content sitting back. Yeah, I've got another Level Esports rider back in that group. What I might do is just close up to this front group, support Nick at the front, and get ready for that Com climb. Don't want to do that on my own, I'd rather have the draft of the wheels in front of me. So I'm going to close that gap now, and then we'll be back for, yeah, roll into about 15.4, which will take us back towards, I think, the start banner, and then we'll be getting ready for that New York Com, which is going to come in at 24.3 kilometers into this race. So I'm just going to turn the mic off, get back to the group, and then I'll be back with you. Yeah, I've got to say, 15.4 to 15.7 back to the banner, to 4-5% gradient. Got that one. So from now, sort of 16k, up to around about 19 kilometers into this race. We've got about 3 kilometers. Again, sort of roll in 2%, 3%. I don't think it's gonna be that sort of noticeable in a group. Race pace will probably just happen and you won't know. But 19 kilometers for about 0.7 of a kilometer. We will have a little kicker, no reward on it, about 8%, something like that. So that'll be the next thing once we get through this section. Just to be mindful of. Obviously wearing a heavy thermal jersey underneath this Level Racing gilet, I'm starting to get very hot. But good, because I'm full of cold. Trying to get rid of it before Tuesday. And keeping my legs spinning is good for me. So here we go. The 19k is next noticeable mark. Just decided that I'm not very good at multitasking. Trying to answer comments on YouTube chat, trying to keep comments going in the chat as well on Companion, and keep muting and unmuting my microphone. It's a bit difficult, but 19 kilometers then. This is the one that I'm on about. This is a no reward climb. That's right, no reward for this one. You've got your featherweight from your sprint, and it's up to you. If you think that you're going to get dropped on this bit and you need to get across, then you might use it, or you might wait until you get to the New York comp. But this, averaging probably about 8%, goes on for about 0.7 of a kilometre, taking us to 19.7, where it will flatten out up by those buildings, but it is a no reward. There's no power up at the top of it, there's no points on it, it's just a leg warmer for that New York comp. So sort of over halfway into the race, if your legs are feeling it and you're trying to save something for that New York comp, it might get drained a little bit here. So it's yeah, just bear it in mind and sort of do what you need, really. There you go, just coming to the top of it now, 19.7k in. As you can see, no reward, and nothing for your effort up there. And what you do get is a little bit of respite until about 20.3 kilometers, whereas another little kicker with about 10% kick in it only lasts for about 0.2 of a kilometer. But again, you're on the limit, it's going to be noticeable, that one. So just pushing back across to the group now. Still got a teammate behind that's with that, those few people behind. Seems everyone's happy in the chat, trying to pop a few messages in there and keep everyone excited for that last com that's coming. There you go, the little kicker I was on about. 20.3, turn this bend, and it just kicks up. There you go, 8, 9, 10, 11%, about 8% average. Another one of those ones that you're not concentrating, could just catch you unaware. You might just drop a wheel, or have to put a little bit of effort in to get across. So that's a little one. And my favourite part about New York clearly isn't the comms, but we get about 1.5k now rolling around in the park before a final kicker and a short descent, which will lead us into that New York comm. You see how easily I'm getting distracted and just dropping off the watch by not looking at the screen as I'm trying to type on different things. But this is what I mean about rolling. You get some rolling bits on this glass road. 21.9 is going to be a kicker, which you can see in the heads-up display there. That's going to top out around 10% in places, maybe just over. And then you're going to get a descent for about 2 kilometers. It's just a chance for you to get yourself ready, get yourself back, ready for that New York com that we keep going on about. But it's the second climb of that New York com that counts. That's the segment that's in for FTS and FAL points. And getting across that, getting those points for your team could be all important. So here you go then, just starting the descent now. Try not to put the fan on. I don't know if it's going to make too much noise in the background. So I'm raw dogging it a little bit with no fan. Hopefully get rid of my cold. Get me ready for Tuesday's race. But yeah, just still on the glass road here, but it's just rolling around. And got it. 24.3 is where we're gonna make the turn towards that final climb of the com. So got a little way to go yet. Descent here -5. Just gonna see if that group behind is gonna jump on me. I'm just gonna sit back here with these guys behind me at the moment. It's great to see lots of national flags as well. So thanks for joining this Level Esports Racing hosted Recon ride of everything Bagel. You didn't catch the beginning of it. 34.3 kilometers in length, 545 meters of elevation. There's 3 segments in play for FTS and FAL. They are New York Sprint, New York Com, which we'll come into now, and the New York Sprint Reverse. The first climb of the New York Com is not for FTS and FAL points. Your first chance to get points for your team is going to be the first sprint of the day, which is after you've descended, and that is at 13.2 kilometers. That's your first points up to grab, 13.2 kilometers in the sprint. Your power-ups for this one come in this order. You'll get an Anvil when you cross the com banner, the first time up the New York com. You'll get a Featherweight as you cross the sprint line. You'll get a second Anvil as you climb the New York com the second time, and you get a final Featherweight after the second sprint. So 4 power-ups in total, 2 Anvils and 2 Featherweights. 3 segments in play, and we're about to take that left-hand turn onto the New York com. 24.3 kilometers into this one. We've got the com. And here it starts. So, 6.5% gradient, 1.4 kilometers in length. First little kick here, 15%. Slightly comes down, still in double figures at 10%. Dropping now into single figures on the more sort of lighter orange color on the heads-up display. It will make a little ramp shortly, and then we'll take a little descent on the blue section, and then it'll be the second part of the climb. So yeah, tactics on this one, your featherweight, if you've still got hold of it after that kicker with no reward, then using it at some point here, either to bridge a gap, stay in the wheels, get back in the wheels. Yeah, really depends on how your race is going and what your plans are and where you are. It might be a case that you're happy in a group, but you just want to sit in and wait until that's the next segment, the sprint segment, and try and get more points on the sprint. But yeah, little descent here, not turning right this time, straight on, going in the next part of this climb. And then we've got sort of a 10% as we turn this corner into double figures, 12, 14%, 15%. And as we come around this corner, it will start to ease off slightly. There you go, starting to come down in those numbers now. Just coming down to single figures now. So the tactic might be use the featherweight on that bend where it goes into double figures and just ride it out for this bit. It might be you try and save it for a final kick towards the top. Everyone's going to be different. And I only learned the other day that I can use Powerups by the top button on my Wahoo kicker bike. Didn't even know that was a thing. And I only did it by accident. So if you're riding a Wahoo kicker bike and you didn't know how to use a Powerup, if you use the right hand shifter top most forward most button, it does your Powerup for you. I didn't know that. Every day's a school day, especially when you're doing the Recon for stage 6, the final stage, the custom stage, like I was earlier on in the week, getting the video done for you guys to see. I did it 3 times because I kept on getting it wrong. So I had to navigate it myself because I'm not able to do it as a route yet. I accidentally knocked that button and realised I could do a power up from the bike rather than have to use the companion app. So if you've got a Wahoo kicker bike and you didn't know that, that's my little tip for you there. And if you do use that and you have got a Wahoo kicker bike and that is a useful tip, that's definitely worth a like and a follow. And apparently someone's just posted, cheers Neil for that, apparently if you push the right hand button, I'm about to try it, he says the right button down does a look behind, handy for a sprint. Oh, mine's not doing that. I don't want to touch the left hand ones because that does the gradient. No, I don't have that on mine, so Neil, thanks for the advice. Maybe I'll catch up with you after this on Discord or something and you can enlighten me in how my Wahoo bike works, even though I've been riding a Wahoo bike now for ever since they were released. And it's probably done, I don't know, 16,000 miles, something like that, I would have thought. Love it, great bit of kit. Probably noticed that I'm rocking a little bit as well. So I keep meaning to do a video of the pain cave. Once I've got everything finished, I will do, but so my Wahoo kicker bike is actually on an Omni rocker plate. So it's got forward, fore and aft motion, tilts left to right as well. Some like it, some don't like it. I've been a big fan of it for long miles indoors. Stops me from getting a sore rear. That is useful in that regard. So just cresting the top of this one. Banners there. Haven't used my featherweight. I do that now on my right hand button. Go through this banner and get my Anvil. Neil's just put back that you've got to pick a shift bike, and he thought the buttons were the same. It might be, Neil, it might be that I just need to program them. Like I say, I didn't even realise the Powerup one was there, so maybe I'll do a little Google later and see what that gives me. But on the descent now, you've got your Anvil power up. This descent is going to take us from 25.7 kilometres to 28.1. There's my weekly goal met. 161 kilometres, 100 miles. That's indoors on Zwift. Not bad for the week. Got more to do. Yeah, where was I? Distracted by the screen then. 25.7 to 28.1. Trying to remember my tactics on this one. You want to be in double figures when you use your Anvil, and I think from memory, might get this wrong now, I think it's as we take this right hand bend is probably the best time to use it. I might be wrong, I might have been too late and missed it. Yeah, I'm not in double figures, but I use it here anyway. As long as you use your Anvil on something that's -2 or greater, obviously minus wise, minus double figures is best. It gives you that added boost going downhill, gives you that extra weight. I might have been better off saving it to here. There is a top segment of that descent that is double figures, that is worth using it. I'll probably have to go back and just watch the video and see where that is, but here -15, -12, -9, good point there. And then rolling back down now. At the bottom of this, 28.1 kilometres. It's going to be the next New York sprint. Just about to hit tarmac through this tunnel. So now's the chance. Through this tunnel, you've got 0.4 of a kilometre. Prepare yourself for the next sprint. This sprint is for FTS and FBL points. It's flat. It's 0.23 of a kilometre. And like I say, 28.1 kilometres in, just coming up to it now. This is your sprint. I think it's got a little dip in the middle of it, but the stats on the left say it's flat. That probably evens itself out. And through this banner, you will get a featherweight. Don't know why, don't know when, but there is, in my opinion, at 29 kilometres, it's featherweight time. You've got a 4% rise from 29 kilometres to 29.9 kilometres, but you might want to use that featherweight, because the final 4 kilometres of this is again what I class as rolling around the park. You might want to hang on to it for the sprint. You might want to use it earlier. Again, I'm just trying to highlight to you possible areas that you could use it. Apologies for my creaky bars. Yeah, up to you again. Every race will be different. Every race on Tuesday will play out very differently. Whether you've got legs and you want to go now, up to you. But this is 29 kilometres in. Starts off at like the 2%, 3%. And as you move into the 29.5, 29.6 kilometres in, it just starts to ramp up a little bit. So be mindful of that. Hopefully you've got something saved in those legs for the final sprint. But yeah, just you've got a featherweight, just trying to see where best to use it. I know the heads-up display's gone, but in a minute, where the rest of the group are, it's probably 29.6-ish is where you could use it. And then obviously you've got the descent the other side of that, and then you're rolling to the finish at 34.3. I muted the mic and carried on talking. Yeah, 29.8, 29.9, that featherweight will be useful in that 10% bit, just to get you over the top of that little kicker, get you on this descent, and hopefully keep you in the pack for a good finish. Oh, 4K to go now, rolling through the park. I'm just going to try and get back to Nick now, as we've got, looks like Daryl's behind me with the other group. That's all sorted. Keeping everyone happy today on this Level Esports Racing hosted Recon ride. Going to mute the mic and try and get back across the Nick. I managed to get back across to Nick. Just saying that this stream is something different. It's not something I've done before. So hope people have liked it. Hope people have enjoyed it. If you have, then that's great. Appreciate any feedback on any of my stuff. Yeah, Recon notes that we've used for this and I've used for sort of my commentary of my ride, all available in my descriptions of all of my Recon videos and even this stream. I'm just going to give Nick a nice little wave there, throw him an elbow, get him to come through. A little smiley face for him. He's done a great job leading this one out, multitasking, getting his notes out for everybody. Probably easier or harder typing them like he is than me trying to do commentary over the top of a stream. But Level Esports Racing is a great community, lots of people helping out, lots of teams, lots of team captains, lots of friendly advice. So whether you're thinking about racing on Zwift or even my whoosh, then jump across to the Level Esports Racing Facebook page, or as Nick said, the lovely racing page. So even if you're new to Zwift, not really interested in riding, but want to be part of a community and do some social rides, some training events that the team hosts within the club, then get on Facebook and get amongst Level Esports Racing. Thanks for joining me on this one, on this live stream. Hopefully all the quality issues have been resolved. Got new internet that went in yesterday, so this was a trial and error as well for me. Guarantee on Tuesday you won't be doing it at 198 watts and 2.5 watts per kilo. But yeah, if you have liked this video, then please, as my 6-year-old boy keeps telling me, if you like this video, then thumbs up, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching my video. See you next time.